My next one is from The Echo, and it's got a picture of a dragon, which we usually associate with Wales, but this is the Liverpool dragon. Sean Webster is the creator, and Liverpool's vibrant street art scene has a colourful new addition in the guise of a dragon. The Liverpool dragon is the work of 16-year-old illustrator Sean Webster, who created the mural on the back of 10 Street's market. The dragon on Carton Street features some famous city traits, including a blue and red wing, a super lamb banana inspired tail, a beetle's cut, and to top it all off, it's breathing out Liverpool's musical spirit. For the perfect shot for Instagram, fans can take the picture for themselves with the dragon holding a shield next to it, posting it online with Liverpool Dragon. The son of children's author Cheryl Webster, Sean, from Allerton, started creating art at a young age. He set up his own business, Sean Webster Illustrations, in early 2016 and started selling his work at art markets. He said, "My main inspiration is music, so it's amazing to be able to add a splash of colour to our city that incorporates this. I also want to create a mural that would appeal to any age, that is very light-hearted and would bring a smile to everyone's face." And you can find Sean at the pop-up in the Palm House. Well, you could have found him earlier in the week.
Again, from a dragon to a seagull. And this item from the Echo on May the 2nd is headed Seagull Aid. Hundreds of people who had been fearfully awaiting the fate of a trapped seagull cheered after the RSPCA rescued the bird using a cherry picker. The bird, which had been stuck in the loose wire of the Kurt Geiger building on Church Street, was rescued by RSPCA staff member Helen Smith. According to eyewitnesses, anxious shoppers applauded once the seagull was brought back down to the ground. The bird was carried down to safety in a cage and is now with the vet. Assistant manager of Kurt Geiger, Ashley Herity, called the RSPCA at 10 a.m. yesterday morning to inform them that the bird had become trapped. Rebecca Crompton, aged 20, who works at the store, said, "As soon as the fire brigade came, there were crowds everywhere. There were around 200 people. According to representatives from the Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service, the crew arrived at 12:37 p.m. with one engine and one aerial appliance. Staff have said that cordons were put in place to contain the large crowd, and they had left the scene by 1:52 p.m. And we've got a picture of the pigeon.
Helen Kerwin is a reporter for The Echo, and she had this piece of information for us during the week under the title, "All Greek to Us as the National Treasure. Fry reveals a tour." Stephen Fry will embark on his first UK tour for nearly 40 years this summer, including 3 dates at the Phil. Mythos, a trilogy, Gods, Heroes, Men, is opening at the Edinburgh International Festival in August before also heading to Salford, Birmingham, London, Oxford and Gateshead. The trilogy of plays will see the National Treasure telling some of his most renowned stories about Greek gods, heroes and men. Fry said, "I am shivering and quivering with excitement at the thought of a UK tour, taking the astounding stories and characters from Greek myth around the UK. 3 different shows over 3 different nights. People can come to 1, 2 or 3 evenings, but whichever they choose, I hope it will be as exciting for them as I know it will be for me." While the 3 Mythos productions each stand alone, they also constitute a sequence, so that those who attend all 3 will follow a continuing story. Audiences are expected to laugh out loud and to be mind-blowing by the production. Tickets go on sale already, and the production in the Phil will be in September.
Planting is the heading for this next item. From the Echo again. Strictly Come Dancing star Shirley Ballas swapped the rumba for roses as she launched a community flower trail in her hometown. The show's head judge, who grew up in Wallasey, came home to show her support for Wallasey Village in Bloom, started by 2 women who wanted to make the area bloom. The group, now 5 strong and supported by 8 volunteers, has launched a floral trail to bring their work together and showcase the village's floral attractions. Strictly head judge Shirley, who was joined by her mum Audrey at Wallasey Village Library, spent over an hour signing autographs for excited fans. Michelle Price, the chair of Wallasey Village in Bloom, said, "It's been quite a journey, planning the routes and developing the trail maps, which will be available throughout Wallasey Village at the library and local shops and businesses. We hope everyone enjoys walking 1 or even all 4 of the different trail routes. Our aim is to make our village smile with flowers, and we hope we've achieved this." More than 80 people attended the launch of the floral trails. It was a fantastic turnout. Watch this space for our next project. Wallasey Village in Bloom was founded in 2013 by Michelle and Anne Williams, and they were later joined by Suzanne Broster, Leah Fraser and Val Hemingway. In 2017, the group entered the RHS Britain in Bloom competition and received silver in the large village category, going on to achieve gold a year later. The volunteers also organise a Christmas light switch-on every year at Harrison Drive. The floral trail consists of 4 trails, all at different lengths, which were partly funded by Tesco Groundworks and local businesses. Anne Williams, secretary of the Wallasey Village in Bloom, said, "This is an exciting new project that brings together our work in the community for everyone to share. Our aim has always been to bring a sense of pride to the village and establish it as a great place to live, work and visit." The 4 different trails around the village showcase what is unique about the area and highlights our thriving community, including all floral displays we've produced and historical places of interest. Each trail is tailored to suit all age groups to promote health and well-being.
In Friday's Echo because it had a Merseyside association, but not one that we would want to be proud of, because the title was "Crash Pair in Hospital After Arrests." 2 men have been arrested after an early morning police chase that crossed 2 counties and ended in a crash. The chase started on Ashley Way in Widnes after the driver of a Golf refused to stop for police. Officers then pursued the car into Merseyside, where the Golf then crashed into a minibus in Hunts Cross. Police said the 2 men fled the car and tried to run off. Officers said they arrested 2 men at around 12:30 a.m. and took them to hospital. A spokesman for Cheshire Police told the Echo the vehicle failed to stop and an officer pursued the vehicle, which travelled into Merseyside. After 7 minutes, the vehicle came to a stop after colliding with a stationary minibus on Woodend Avenue, and 2 men fled the area on foot. Following a search of the area, 2 men were arrested on suspicion of a number of offences. Both men were 21, had been arrested for a number of offences. 1 on suspicion of failing to stop, dangerous driving, theft of a vehicle, possession of an offensive weapon, and possession of a controlled drug. The second man was arrested on suspicion of theft of a motor vehicle, possession of an offensive weapon, and possession of a controlled drug. The spokesman confirmed both men have since been taken to hospital.
The next piece is a poem written by P.A. Tobin, sent in by email, and it's called Passing Thoughts. Now I'm getting older, I spend more time looking back. Perhaps that's just normal, as ahead is the shorter track. While looking back I wonder where 70-odd years have gone, and if anyone's left that I would know in the village that I came from. It's 60 years since I left that place, a village with just 3 streets. My dad, the village policeman, had a 20-mile country beat. 10 more years soon raced by, then I sailed across the sea. But I never thought in 50 years that I would still live here. 70 years of memories, names and faces in my mind, wondering what became of them, or if many are still alive. I think of the places I've lived, London, Leeds and more, and now retired in Liverpool, a boss forever home. I've loved the life I've had here. This country's been good to me. I've never regretted that far-off day I decided to cross the sea. An emigrant ship brought me here, like millions before me, but still the place where I was born will always be part of me.
The wrong move. Tom Horton tells us about a famous theatre put up for sale on property site by mistake. A famous Merseyside seaside theatre has appeared for sale on property website Rightmove, but the council said that the listing is an error by the property agent. The Floral Pavilion Theatre in New Brighton has appeared on the site with the cost of the historic venue listed as price on asking by Manchester-based consultants Lambert Smith Hampton. It comes months after it was revealed the council is seeking a new commercial operator to take over the theatre in a bid to bring even more popular acts to the World Town. That would mean the venue is available for lease, but not for sale. On Wednesday, a World spokesman said that the listing would be removed from the Rightmove website and that it's an error on behalf of the property agent. He confirmed that the theatre should never have been listed for sale, but that the authority is still in the process of trying to find another operator to run it. The Rightmove listing said the Royal Pavilion has operated on the site for more than 100 years. The theatre closed in 2007, was demolished and rebuilt to a new design, reopening in December 2008. As well as an enlarged and enhanced theatre auditorium, the complex also includes a multi-purpose conference centre, meetings, event space, and a large multi-purpose lounge area. In November, the council said that, with a new operator, it hoped that the 800-seater theatre would host more popular musicals, plays, and other performances that would even pave the way for West End production.
Thursday, May the 2nd, Echo edition, headed Anger as travellers move in. Local people have expressed anger after travellers set up camp illegally on land in Bootle. A convoy of caravans parked up off North Perimeter Road last Friday and still there. People living near the camp say they are experiencing men knocking at their homes offering to carry out driveway and garden improvements. Claire Louise Vaughan said, "They've already knocked on my elderly mother twice." Laura Jackson said, "It will be our council tax money used to clean up after them." A spokesman for Sefton Council said, "We've spoken to the travellers on the land off North Perimeter Road and have started the required legal process to ensure they can be moved on as quickly as possible." Last month, 2 vans and 3 caravans were parked illegally on the MTQ Park and Ride site in Southport. Less than 2 weeks later, travellers set up camp at a children's play area. And last June, travellers pitched up illegally at 3 different areas in the borough in the space of a few weeks. Figures obtained from a Freedom of Information request last year show travellers set up camp more than once a month in Sefton. And we have a picture here of travellers' caravans on land off North Perimeter Road in Bootle.
The care home will carry on. The town hall quashes a closure fears. Mike Tyrrell is the local democracy reporter on the Echo, and he says that Liverpool Council has moved to reassure residents that a care home in the city will continue to function despite the company that runs it going into administration. Four Seasons houses 22,000 elderly residents across 322 homes, although the firm insists that operations will be unaffected by the move into administration. The company has 6 care homes in Merseyside, including one, Croxteth Park Home, which is in Liverpool. But the council's Director of Adult Social Care and Health, Martin Farron, said yesterday that it was business as usual for the home. Mr. Farron said the company is clear that it does not change the way they operate or how their homes are run by residents and staff. We understood that people with connections to the home may be anxious, but we are sure that the provider will be happy to answer any questions. Equally, we are available to address any concerns based on what we know. Mr. Farron said the information the council had been given so far makes it confident that the company will find the buyer it needs to continue care for people in its homes. He added, we have well-established contingency plans in place to support residents and their families in all eventualities. Aside from Croxteth Park, the other Four Seasons homes in Merseyside are Victoria Care Home in St Helens, Alexandra in Newtonley Willows, Park House in Prenton, Grove House in Prenton, and Bebbington Care Home in Bebbington. Corporate undertakers at Alvarez and Marshall have been appointed and will now attempt to sell it out of administration.
Tom Horton produced this piece for the Echo last week. Faster journeys as both tunnels go contactless. Motorists using the Kingsway Mersey tunnels connecting Wallasey with Liverpool city centre can now pay contactless in any lane. People have been using the contactless card payment feature without having to drive through the attended lanes at the Queensway Birkenhead Tunnels toll plaza since last week. But the feature, which Mersey Travel hopes will mean faster journeys and reduced congestion, is now usable across all of the two tunnels, total 34 lanes. The news follows months of speculation and promises, with drivers previously having had to use staffed lanes at both plazas to pay by debit or credit card. The function went live in Wallasey on Wednesday afternoon, Mersey Travel confirmed. Gary Evans, head of customer delivery, said, "We would like to thank tunnel users for their patience while these works have been progressed. The changes were led by the feedback we receive from our customers on a daily basis, and we are happy to see the difference these changes have already made to the customer's experience." According to Merseyside's transport body, a decision was taken to refresh the current system rather than to wholly replace it, so as to minimise the disruption and also allow long-term planning for any major future changes. The £3.1 million scheme saw the existing toll machines, first installed in 2001, replaced on a lane-by-lane basis, also to minimise disruption. Liverpool City Region Metro Mayor Steve Rotherham said, "I'm really happy that we've been able to make using the Mersey tunnels even easier by introducing contactless payments. It should also mean cars will spend less time on the toll plaza, reducing congestion and air pollution and making journeys faster."
The piece was written by Sue Connerty. Now, Sue Connerty was Merseyside Woman of the Year in 2018. She's written this piece in the Echo column called My City. Last year I found myself as a finalist in the Merseyside Woman of the Year awards for my work with the charity I founded, the Walking with Giants Foundation. The nomination that got me there was a simple gesture that changed my life. To my amazement, I was named the overall Merseyside Woman of the Year. Little did I know that was just the beginning. I was suddenly part of a community of incredibly generous women. There were people like me trying to make a difference out of a home office, and high-flying female entrepreneurs and professionals too. They all welcomed me with open arms and have helped me to take the foundation and myself to new heights. The sisterhood in this city is unrivaled. It's not a clique, and there are no closed doors. There are thousands of people, men included, who want to lift you up and ensure you shine. For me, there's nothing more fitting than our city's culture theme for 2019 is Rise. Never mind a season of extraordinary female artists, thinkers, leaders. This city has enough to last an eternity. You see, platforms like Merseyside Women of the Year and the other organisations that celebrate women in our region don't just exist to champion the women of today. They're creating a safe space and legacy for the female future of this city. So why not join us? Whether that's nominating an unsung heroine before the May the 7th deadline, or just connecting with other women in your community, I urge you to do it. As I've learned myself, when women support one another, incredible things can happen.